Grandfather, my father, my father-in-law, and whole generations of my family studied at Aligarh. So Aligarh spirit runs in my family and it runs in me, and I have a commitment towards Aligarh Muslim University. Aligarh Muslim University does not produce graduates. It produces elites. That means scholars. An elite is a scholar with tehzeeb, with manners, and with culture. That is the difference between graduates of Aligarh Muslim University and other universities of the country. What Aligarh Muslim University intends to do is produce complete human beings. That means Mukammal Insan. I need not repeat the mission of Sir Syed. He was, of course, the architect of modern education in India, an ardent advocate of modern scientific knowledge. Now, Aligarh Muslim University started as a madrasa, graduated on to MAO College, and in 1920 was upgraded to a full-fledged central university. We are very, very proud that besides Banaras Hindu University and Delhi University, it is declared in the Constitution of India that Aligarh Muslim University is an institution of national importance. We've had a galaxy of notable laureates who have visited and honored the university. They are flashed, their names are flashed on the slide. We've had a whole lot, generations of leaders visiting the university. All of them are there, from the King of Saudi Arabia, Abdul Aziz, the King of Afghanistan, Shah of Iran, and of course, several presidents of the country. Aligarh Muslim University has had the honor of producing heads of state of 4 different countries. I don't think any university has produced the heads of 4 different states: India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Maldives. Our notable alumni, they are far too numerous for me to mention, but just for to refresh your memories. I noticed somebody in the middle who's quite familiar. Just to refresh your memories about your alma mater. We have 19 halls of residence, and this total strength of the students at Aligarh Muslim University to date is 28,000. We have 12 faculties and 100 departments. One of the priority areas of Aligarh Muslim University is research, and these are the departments where extensive research is being carried out. We are carrying out, or what we are doing is signing memorandums of understanding with several leading universities of the world. We are following the path shown by Sir Syed when he spent 2 years in England studying the methodology and how the universities of Oxford and Cambridge were being run. I have had the opportunity of visiting several universities in America. I have visited several universities in the United Kingdom, and now I have had a chance of visiting several universities in the Gulf. And let me tell you that there's a lot to learn, there's a lot of ground to be made up, because I realize that we are 50 years behind them and we need to catch up immediately. These are some of the universities with which we have signed MOUs of collaboration. Let me tell you that besides scholarly pursuits, Aligarh Muslim University is not behind in other fields. We are progressing in games. We are the second university in the country with an AstroTurf. We are the only university in the country with a riding club. And inshallah, we will very soon be the only university in the country with a golf course. These are the games and other activities which are being paid. I am very, very proud to tell you all that Aligarh Muslim University, after a gap of 39 years, this year won the All India Tennis Tournament. Our hockey team has just recently won the North Zone Hockey Tournament. And our girls this year won the North Zone Badminton Tournament. So we are on the path of progress, and inshallah, like in the days of old, in your time, we will produce sportsmen who represent the country and make all of us very, very proud. Of course, we've got a galaxy of eminent sportsmen who represented the country. For your information, their names are on the slide. We are not forgetting co-curricular activities and encouraging our students in personality development, their ability to speak, and what we are trying to produce is confident youngsters. We've had a large number of foreign visitors coming to the university recently. Just to indicate who they are, we will flash them on the slide. The vision for Aligarh Muslim University is, inshallah, to be the leading university, #1 university in the country by 2017. Why 2017? It will give me 3.5 years to do what we intend or what we have planned, but we are not stopping there. By 2020, that is the time when Aligarh Muslim University celebrates its centenary, we aim to be among the top 200 universities of the world. At the moment, not a single Indian university figures in the top 200 universities of the world, but we shall be the first one by 2020. One of the very, very important objects is to revive the culture and traditions of Aligarh Muslim University and make it what it was in your time, inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, that's as far as the slideshow is concerned. But I must tell you, the ground realities, you must be aware of what they are. The first is inadequate funding. There's a general belief that crores of rupees of government grants are surrendered back to the government. Let me clear this misconception. What the government grants to Aligarh Muslim University is the pay and allowances of 2,000 faculty members. Unfortunately, for several years and in some cases for as long as 15 years, there have been no general selection committees in AMU. We have a shortfall of about 500 to 600 teachers. So the pay and allowances of these 600 teachers is surrendered back to the government because we cannot utilize this, we cannot divert this for any other purpose. That is the only amount which is surrendered back to the government. Not a single paisa of non-planned grant is surrendered, it is utilized fully. Now the non-planned grant for one plan is about 25 crores. Let me inform you that the electricity bill of Aligarh Muslim University for 5 years comes to about 25 crores. So there's really nothing left with the administration to run the university or to carry out new projects. We are totally bankrupt as far as funding is concerned. The next problem of Aligarh Muslim University is the overcrowding in our halls of residence. Accommodation which was built and meant for 6,000 students is now occupied by 15,000. There is massive overcrowding and in some cases there is not enough space even for writing tables and for cupboards. So our students are really living in extremely bad conditions and their mental makeup is directed or conditioned by the conditions in which they live. There is an immediate requirement for making new halls of residence, and I am very, very pleased to announce that what we have planned is immediately from the grant of 150 crores, which was specially made by the Government of India for Aligarh Muslim University. We had to fight very, very hard for this special grant, and what we plan to do is immediately we are giving the contract for a new hall of residence of 1,500 girls and 1,000 boys. The aim is to get all our girls who are scattered all over the city in small pockets into the main campus of Aligarh Muslim University so that they are close to their place of education and they do not have to traverse areas which are pretty lawless. So inshallah in about 2 years time all the girls will be inside the campus. What we plan to do is the Jawaharlal Nehru Hostel, which is accommodating about 1,000 girls, will be handed over to the Girls' College, which is grossly overcrowded. The Indira Gandhi Hostel, which houses about 400 girls, we will convert recondition and upgrade into an international hostel for foreign and NRI students. I am very, very aware of the problems faced by NRIs in finding suitable accommodation for their children. But inshallah, give me some time, in about 2 years' time, we will have a modern hostel for NRI children. Another problem is the decay and bad conditions of our historical buildings. They are about 1 century old. Our Jama Masjid, Stretchy Hall and other historical buildings are in an advanced state of decay. I recently, before I came, I climbed up to Stretchy Hall to examine the roof. And unless we do something about it immediately, Khuda na khasta, that roof is going to collapse. So we've got to do something immediately, and we have planned. What we have done, we have approached the Aga Khan Foundation and sent them a detailed plan for the restoration and renovation of the Sayyid Hall. We put in up a plan of 106 crores. I had the good fortune of having a detailed meeting with the Aga Khan, and I reminded him of what his grandfather had done for the university, and he has given me an assurance that something will be done through the Aga Khan Foundation. But Aga Khan Foundation itself is pretty bureaucratic, and I do not expect the grants to come in so soon. But inshallah, what we plan to do is spend about 6 crores for the roofs of our historical buildings. In that, I need the help of the alumni. The government, from the time it was raised, the university, from the time it was upgraded, depended on government grants, and what was given, grants given by the princes and the nawabs of pre-independent India. We had the Nizam of Hyderabad, the Begum of Bhopal, and the Aga Khan, who were extremely generous in their grants. Now the princely days are over, and we do not get the grants from the royal families. But what we are hoping and what we are confident about is that our alumni spread worldwide in 90 countries will come to the help of their alma mater. And I want to remind you that, ladies and gentlemen, you are what you are because of Aligarh Muslim University, and now it is payback time. I've already told you about the deficiency of teachers. Inshallah, by January, we are going to put general selection committees on the fast route, and within this year, by the end of next academic year, we hope to have about 200 to 300 new faculty members in position. The deficiency of 500 to 600 teachers will be made up in about 2 years' time. Why we are not doing it immediately is that we need quality teachers, and finding quality teachers takes some time. In fact, it takes a lot of time. Let me assure you that if any NRI teacher wants to come back to Aligarh Muslim University, the gates of the university are open, and we will appoint them straight away. Our classrooms are outdated. We are still at the chalk and blackboard stage. What we want to do immediately is create 100 smart classrooms. We have made an appreciation. Each smart classroom will cost about 10 lakhs. This I have requested our alumni in America to help us out. I have got a commitment of 12 smart classrooms from them, but that is not the end. They have promised me that if we live up to our promises, if we live up to our commitments, probably 100 smart classrooms will be funded by them. One of the problems, or one of the major problems in the university is the Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College. It is what I am really ashamed of what the hospital is, but it was because of inadequate funding. The hospital is a 1,050 bedded hospital, and what we were getting from the government was only 2.1 crores per year. After a long and protracted battle, we have succeeded last year in 5 times increase in grant. What the hospital is now getting is 10.5 crores per year. But that too is inadequate because hospitals in Delhi with the same bedded strength are getting approximately 100 crores per year. What we've tried to do, the MHRD have put their hands up. They said that we are going to give you 10.5 crores and nothing more. We are examining whether the Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College can be given to the Ministry of Health, which has no dearth of funds. But I am being very, very cautious because of the lesson of Banaras Hindu University offering their engineering college to be upgraded into an IIT. The engineering college of BHU has certainly been upgraded, but Banaras Hindu University has lost total control, and what is there on the campus is 2 separate universities, BHU and IIT Banaras. We do not want the same thing to happen to Aligarh Muslim University, so we are being extremely cautious. That is the sole reason why we did not accept our engineering college to be renamed as the Indian Institute of Technology. Because what we are concerned is education of primarily, let me tell you that Aligarh Muslim University is a secular university, but Sir Syed dictated or directed that it should be particularly for the Muslims of India. And it shall remain so, inshallah. So we are carrying out our campaign for the restoration of the minority character of the university. It is before the Supreme Court. The case is sub judice. No politician, no political party can give us the minority character unless it is we win the case, and we shall, inshallah. Our case is so strong that we cannot but win back the minority character of the university. Another problem of the university is our school. We are running 9 different schools in Aligarh Muslim University. Their standards are extremely poor, but they are the feeder institutions of AMU. What we managed to do is get the government approval to upgrade all our schools up to Kendriya Vidyalaya standards. The first school which will be upgraded this year, is the weakest in the link, that is the Union School. That inshallah will be upgraded to KB standards this year, and the process will take 7 to 8 years. One school every year will be upgraded to KB standards. The sole problem now that exists in AMU is regionalism, or what I call Ilaka Parasti. This is a major problem. We have the Eastern UP lobby, the Western UP lobby, the Bihar lobby, the All India lobby. Fortunately, I am not one of the lobby members. Why I say this? Why I say this is I was born in Bahrain, which is UP. I was educated in northern UP in Nainital. My hometown is Aligarh is Meerut. I have served all over the country and all over the world. So I have no regional or political affiliations, and I've been stressing that I belong to Team Aligarh Muslim University. That's it. So we are not going to encourage, we are not following through, joining one of the groups. We want to eliminate those groups. We just want to have one group, and that is the AMU group. Let me also apprise you of what little we've been able to do in the last 1.5 years. The window to Aligarh Muslim University, that means anybody who wants to know what Aligarh Muslim University is about, is the website. I invite all of you to visit the AMU website and see. You will be pleased to know that it is about amongst the best in the country and at par with some of the best universities of the West. It was very important to upgrade the website. When I came, we were told that it would cost about 20 lakhs if we got professionals to do it. But we had our own computer department, we had our own researchers into computer science, and we entrusted that task to them. And I am very, very pleased to say that not a paisa was spent and the website has been upgraded. The next problem was our very, very poor guest houses. This was brought home to me when an Iraqi delegation visited and stayed in our guest house. And the leader of the delegation next day complained, he told me nothing else, but complained about the standards of the guest house, of how he had been bitten by bugs and mosquitoes right through the night. And we felt that something immediate had to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. When you come next to Aligarh Muslim University, you must pay a visit to the guest houses. I can tell you, they are at par with military messes. I already told you that we are spending our total non-planned grant on paying up for our electricity bills. What we need to do, and we are going to succeed inshallah, is make AMU the first green university of the country. In this plan, we are going to spend 20 crores in converting Aligarh Muslim University to be a green university. And what is going to happen? The advantage of this is that we will be able to recover the 20 crores which we are spending in 3 to 4 years' time. That means our electricity bill will be half in case we convert it into a green university. I have heard complaints about the roads of the university. I do admit that they are in bad shape, but the waiting is over, and by 9th of December, all the roads of the university will be rebuilt, retarred and made new, much wider roads with dividers in the middle. So when you visit next after 9 December, there will be no potholes in any of the roads or potholes. There are potholes in the minds of our students. Those also will be leveled out. Our syllabi needs to be upgraded. We've appointed a team of young teachers who have had their PhDs from abroad. They are going department by department, and the syllabi will confirm or will conform to the requirements of industry and to the requirements of competitive exams. There is no need for our students to join cramming schools. There will be no need. The syllabi will be so upgraded that without any special preparation, our students will be able to qualify for central services. We have made a start. We trained 40 boys specially for the armed forces, and what I am proud to say that out of the 40 we trained, 10 have qualified for NDA. There is a lot of resistance from their parents, but I am trying to convince them to send their children, because I realize that the only secular organization in the country is the armed forces. And unless we send our children to the armed forces, to the police, to the IAS, to the IPS, our community will always remain weak. It will always remain backward. The aim of my mission is to strengthen the community, not by asking for reservations, but by so strengthening them that on their own strength they will qualify and enter. We have modernized all the kitchens. Let me tell you that Dunlop, which you ate when you were a student, is now part of history, because we have installed 19 chapati makers in all the kitchens. And what the students are getting now are chapatis, but we have not forgotten the Dunlop. They will be served every Friday. We have got Bain Mary's, steam cooking systems and automatic chapati makers. And what we've done to keep the prices down and to adopt the economy of scale, there is only one menu right across the 19 kitchens of our halls of residence. This has enabled us to purchase commodities including meat in bulk. But what has happened in the last 1 year or so, there has been rampant inflation. Onions which were costing 15 to 20 rupees are now touching 100 rupees. Potatoes are the same. But we have been trying to keep the cost of the meals to the students as low as possible. We have made placement teams, that means placement teams in all departments. That means at the moment there is one placement team of the university and there are 100 placement teams, one in each department. And I am very, very proud to announce that in the last 1 year, we've had hundreds of boys placed at Aligarh Muslim University. The problem which placement teams are finding is the inability of our students to converse in English. That is a major problem. We are trying to convert that. I do not speak to the students in any other language other than English. They may call me an Angrez or whatever they like, but I am catering for weak students. I am forcing them to learn English because what the placement teams tell me, they tell me your boys have a lot of energy, they have got a lot of knowledge, but we cannot recruit them to international companies because they do not know the international language. So that's what I've been trying to inculcate. I've been telling our students, मादरी ज़बान हमारी उर्दू है, मगर रोजी रोटी की ज़बान अभी तो अंग्रेजी है. That is the reality of life, and that is what we are trying to correct in the university. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that I started my education in a madrasa. I am very, very proud of that. So madrasas are my focus of attention. They are the largest educational network in the country. And unless we can harness the energies of madrasa students, our community will always remain backward and in the background. What we've done as a start is open the doors of Aligarh Muslim University to students of madrasas for every course. What initially was happening is only the departments of theology, Arabic, Persian and Urdu were open to madrasa students. Now they can compete and enter for any course. Let me also tell you that all entries to all courses in AMU are now through a competitive exam.